Okay, I had to change costume because, well, I got to tell you how I do this. Okay, I just go on YouTube and I got my feed of all the stuff that comes along my desk, and it's all crap. There's nothing that's not crap on YouTube, but it's very entertaining. So I'm going to play the part of a British man who's an astrologer. And we're going to talk about the autumn equinox energies, but I'm not going to look at this thing because this is a black. You know, you turn off your phone and it's black. It's deep noir black. So don't look at it because it's a mirror. And everyone knows Harry Potter told you in the movies, never look in a mirror. But this thing is a mirror, and don't look. All right, now we're going to talk about the autumn equinox, which is the 23rd of September. And, well, I'm cheating because I listened to the astrology report of someone else. And that one talked about how it's all about the black sun. The black sun is Saturn, and everyone knows that Saturn is either wholly good or good for nothing. Some people will tell you that somewhere on Saturn evil exists, and it sends out a horrible nightmare signal of energetics that bounce off a satellite in one of the rings of Saturn. It goes directly to our moon, and then it's beamed down from our moon, as just like the Pink Floyd album Dark Side of the Moon. And it's you know, what do you do when you shine a light through a prism? You get all those colors, and all those colors come to us here on planet Earth, and they're either, well, they're all the colors that line up your chakras, and the chakras light up depending on what kind of prismatics they're using on the moon and what the source laser is over on Saturn. The reason I say Saturn is wholly no good is because of that. Everyone knows the black sun is all evil. However, there is the countervailing duties that they must pay in order to have their site hosted on Saturn, because the ascended masters of the solar system live on Saturn, and it's an enlightened society. It's Luciferian. Now, Lucifer is either known as an angel or the head of the demonics. Apparently, demonics and angels are the same thing. And Lucifer is either the leader of the holy, dark, horrible evil, or he's the light bringer who is here to bring enlightenment to humanity. Which one is it? It's the same thing with Saturn. It's either got the ascended masters there for you, or it is the den of iniquity. How do you choose? We're going to get Elon Musk again on the ringer. We're going to call him up and we're going to say, Elon, we need a ship to get us to Saturn. We've got to figure it out. Are they evil, or is it the ass-ended masters? I often call them ass-ended masters because if they're ascended, it means they're like too high in their ego. I mean, they're way up here in the brain instead of the heart, ascended. Now, the metaphysical writer Stuart Wilde, who I talk about quite a bit from time to time, said ascension is not going up. Going up is incorrect. He said if you go up there, you're going to go loony. Loony, loony, lulu. Stuart Wilde said if you're going to ascend, you're going to go sideways. Sideways, and he said it's about the point where your elbow is, about 18 inches from your body. Sideways is where he called it the Aluna. The Aluna, that's where it is. It's 18 inches sideways. I think it's to the right, but I could be to the wrong, could be left. But it's 18 inches sideways from our existence. So don't be ascending up here. Just because your chakras start down here and they go blue, 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 way up here and way up here to your starseed chakra way up here, you know, tingling down here. And there's another one that's down below your feet that anchors you in the earth. It doesn't mean you're going to go live up here in starseed land. No. If you do, you're going to go woo-woo and everyone thinks you're cuckoo. So you have to don't look at the black sun. Don't look at the mirror. All right, now what is coming up for the equinox? Don't expect your bills to get paid by other people. What's that got to do with nothing? It's just good advice. Don't pay other people's bills either. Should you marry a man named Bill? I think it's okay. Willie. Everyone knows that a man's winky is his willy. What else can I tell you about these autumn equinox energies? Well, if you put it together with a full moon, you're going to have a blast of werewolves out on the heather in northern England. I don't know about Scotland if they've got proper werewolves or the halflings. Anyways, if you're going to get an astrologer, you must get a proper person who speaks with a British accent. English is uncanny. I wouldn't go with an Englishman. Welsh is good. Better than Scottish. They're daft. The people are daft. It means that you can't understand them. The English are too uptight. The Welsh. If you go to Wales, you're going to get a proper astrologer. I wouldn't go with an Irishman. No, they're two-faced. They get into the liquor and they'll tell you anything. Buy me another pint, mate, and I'll tell you what your horoscope. No, don't listen. A Welshman on the other side of the street. They're very rare. It's a very small kingdom, Wales, and they got the Prince of Wales, and he's got bloody nothing to do with Wales whatsoever. I don't think he's got a drop of Welsh blood in him, but that's why they call him the Prince of Wales. And as far as equinox energy is coming in to knock you on your keister, I don't know someone who does charting anymore. In the olden days, they would get out the protractor and the compass and they would look at the sky and they'd get that azimuth thing. What was that thing? They used it in the 14th century to determine latitude and longitude. Azimuth thing, whatever it was. Anyway, they would draw your star chart when you were born and what house of the rising sun you came into. And then from there, they could predict your astral number, which depended on your life cycle in the previous 12, but not 13 incarnations. Everything that happens to you is on purpose. Your date of death can be predicted from your date of birth. Unless you're murdered, in which case you died before you were supposed to of old age, in which case you're going to have to balance someone's karma. But you can get your chart, you can get your chart from the computer-generated chart machines that first came out in the 1980s. They're not new. Are they better today if you got an app? Well, you just have to depend on the programmer, and the programmer could be some daft man from East Anglia. And you were looking for a Welshman to do it, or a Welsh woman is even better. A transgender Welsh. Now, that brings up opossums. Louisiana opossums, but they have to be born in Israel, on the Palestinian side of the line. Then you've got to get lizards. Only 2 lizards, and you tie them tail to tail. You paint one blue, and you paint the other one pink. And then you've got to find one of these daft people who are doing Cambo frogs and Bufotine toads for the DMT. These people are cracked. The Cambo people take frogs, and I don't know if they put them in the blender. I don't know if they cook them or they use alcohol in order to disinfect them. But then what they do is they get an army knife, like a Swiss army knife, the sharp end, and they cut themselves on the arm. And then they take the liquid combo, which is just a frog. It's a special kind of frog. They paid $35 to have it imported and another $150 import fees. And then they had it disinfected at the vet. It had to go into quarantine, so it's about $2,000 for a combo frog. And they put it into the musher. They blended it all up on Liquify. And after they cut themselves open with the Swiss Army knife, they take one of those, those wooden tongue depressors, and they go and they scoop up some of this combo frog liquefied, and they smear it on the bloody arm where they cut it open. And they get the combo in, and then they rub it in. And then what happens is they start to bath. It's not normal bath with chunks in it. It's more like that movie Cujo. Remember Cujo? He was the rabid dog. I think he was a Saint Bernard, and he had foaming at the mouth. This is what happens to you if you put combo frog into your bloodstream because you cut open your arm. You start foaming, enormous foam at the mouth. And then what you do is you get a crack pipe. You can go down to your local shelter house. They give them out for free. And you get your crack pipe. And you previous to this, you'll get your Bufo frog. It comes from South California. Homer Simpson of The Simpsons is famous for doing this. He licked the back of the Bufo frog. You'll just get another one of those tongue depressors, and you'll just scrape it. Just scrape it, the back of the frog, and then you put it into a Pyrex glass dish, and you put it in a low heat oven on warm, no warmer than 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and dry it out. Don't turn it into something too crusty because you have to scrape it after it's dried out. And you could put it into one of those things that you use for grinding up coffee beans. And you just, turn it on, whoosh, and it makes little fine powder. Don't inhale the powder. You put it in your crack pipe and you smoke it. Now, don't tell this to any of your old people because they'll think you're whacked. But you've got combo in here, and you're foaming at the mouth like a crazy Saint Bernard, Cujo, and then you get your crack pipe and you put this Bufo frog substance that's secreted from the back of the frog. You put it in the crack pipe, and then you get a super hot flame, and you just inhale this stuff. And then what happens? That's how you get to Mars. If you want to bounce off Mars, then you jump on a trampoline, you end up on the black sun, Saturn. Saturn is known for Saturnian personalities which look like the devil. Mr. Spock from Star Trek looks like the devil, but it just shows you can't judge a book by its cover. He's got devilish ears and devilish, what do you call these whoop-de-doo things here? And yet he is not devilish. You can't judge a devil by his devilish looks. Anyway, what do you need to know about the equinox is if the Coriolis effect is making your toilet turds go down this way because you're in North America, if you go to South America, the Coriolis effect works backwards. But if you're right at the equator, they go straight down the pipe with no turns. Except if it's an equinox, in which time you got to go and get your old-fashioned timepiece. It's one of those glass things that's full of sand, and the sand goes down, 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 through the little tiny bit in the middle, and then it drops to the bottom, and it's an hourglass. And if you flip your hourglass too many times, you can't remember if it's morning, noon, or night, except on the equinox. When you get your binoculars out and you look with your left eye only, you might as well put black tape on the right side, and you got to look at the star Arcturus. And you need a Stellarium app from the App Store to find Arcturus. You look at it with one eye open and one eye closed, and if it looks pink on a Sunday, then you got to use your alternate map. Otherwise, you lose your principality. And if your principality is lost, then you open your other eye and you wait to the following solstice. A solstice has got soul, when equinox has got nothing but equilibrium. If you've lost your equilibrium, you had too many pints at lunch, and you should stop drinking until at least tomorrow. That's your astrology update. I'm Henry Winkler.